Theory of simple bending. The stresses caused by the bending moment are known as bending stress or flexural stress. The relationship between these stresses and the bending moment is known as flexural formula or bending formula. For example, if we now consider a beam initially unstressed and then subjected to some constant bending moment along its length, it will bend to a radius r. As a result of this, the bending at the top of the fiber of the beam will be subjected to compression and bottom of the fiber will be tension. So somewhere between these two surfaces, there are points at which the stress is zero. At the locus of all such points is known as neutral axis. Here we can see initially the beam has been unstressed, which means before deformation. After it's subjected to some constant bending moment, it will bend to some radius r. So this is after deformation, bending in beams occurs. So due to this, the initial bending moment causes the beam to deform, and due to this, the top fiber will be subjected to compression and bottom fiber will be subjected to tension. These are the assumptions made in the theory of simple bending concept. Or the material of beam is homogeneous and isotropic, which means the material property will be same for all the directions. And second one, Young's modulus is constant in both compression and tension zone, and transverse section which are plane before bending remain plane after the bending, which means it eliminates the effect of strain in other direction also. And initially beam is straight and all the longitudinal filaments bend in circular arcs. Radius of curvature is large compared with the dimensions of cross sections. Each layer of the beam is free to expand or contract, otherwise they will generate some additional internal stresses on the beam. And stresses due to bending, which means we have to find the bending formula or flexural formula due to the stresses acting on the beam. So initially the beam is straight. After it's subjected to some constant moment, it is bent to some radius r. So here the bending structure which has the radius of curvature r. So the strain in the layer EF, the bending layer in strain in the bending layer is equal to strain is equal to y by r, which means stress by strain. E is equal to Young's modulus E is equal to stress by strain, which means strain in the layer EF is equal to y by r, and the Young's modulus E is equal to stress by strain, which means stress in the layer EF divided by strain in the layer EF. Substitute the stress and strain formula in Young's modulus. Young's modulus is equal to stress in the layer EF is equal to sigma divided by strain in the layer EF is equal to y by r. By simplifying this, we get the sigma by y is equal to E by r, or else we can get the sigma stress is equal to E by r into y. Next, we can equate the forces on the layer. So by cutting the neutral axis, consider the small portion above the neutral axis having area dA and having depth dy. For this, find the forces on the layer. What is in the force formula? Force is nothing but stress into area. So the force on the layer is equal to stress on the layer into area of the layer. Stress is equal to sigma, and area, consider the small area. So substitute the area as dA. Now substitute the sigma value from the previous slide. Sigma value E by r into y into dA. Now the total force on the beam section. Here I am taking the only small portion to find the overall full section. So you have to integrate this value. So to integrate this value, E by r into y into dA, common value E and r will be constant. So take as common, take a E and r as a common, then E by r into integration of y into dA. For equilibrium forces should be 0. So substitute the integration of y into dA as 0. So the neutral axis coincides with the geometrical axis. Then force on the layer is equal to sigma into dA. Substitute the sigma value E by r y into dA. Now moment of this section above the neutral axis. Take moment of the section above neutral axis is equal to moment load into distance. Here the force into distance. The force value E by r y into dA. E by r y into dA. Force into distance from this point to up to neutral axis distance y. So force value E by r y into dA into distance y. Simplifying this, E by r y into y square into dA. So this is a moment for the particular small section. So the total moment is equal to integration of E by R into Y square into dA. Take a constant value as common, E by R into Y square into dA. Here Y square into dA is nothing but the moment of inertia I. Substitute the moment of inertia value, we get the m equal to E by R into Y, which is equal to m by I equal to E by R. By equating the previous sigma 1 value, previous relation and this relation, we get the flexure or bending formula as m by I equal to E by R equal to sigma by Y. And next is section modulus is denoted by the symbol Z, is nothing but the ratio of moment of inertia of the section above the neutral axis to the distance of the outermost layer from the neutral axis, which means Z is equal to I divided by Y max, where I stands for the moment of inertia above the neutral axis and Y stands for the distance of the outermost layer from the neutral axis. Also we can write the moment of resistance equal to sigma stress into Z, which means here moment of resistance offered by the section is the maximum when the Z value is maximum. Hence the Z represents the strength of the section. Let's see the section modulus value for the different sections. First the section modulus for rectangular section. What is the I formula? Moment of inertia for rectangular section is equal to B dq by 12 and Y maximum value is equal to half of the overall depth. So by substituting this value, we get the section modulus for rectangular section will be equal to B d square by 6. Similarly, for rectangular hollow section, the moment of inertia value will be equal to capital D cube by 12, which means overall breadth depth cube divided by 12 minus small b d cube by 12, and Y maximum value is equal to overall depth divided by 2. Substituting this, we get the section modulus for rectangular hollow section is equal to 1 by 60 into b d cube minus small b d cube. And section modulus for circular section, moment of inertia of the circular section is equal to pi d power 4 divided by 64 and Y max is equal to half of the diameter. By substituting this, we get the section modulus for circular section as pi d cube by 32. And next is circular section for section modulus for circular hollow section. Moment of inertia of hollow section is equal to hollow circular section is equal to pi by 64 into d power 4 minus d power 4 and Y value is equal to external half of the external diameter. By substituting this, we get the section modulus for circular hollow section is equal to pi by 32d into capital D power 4 minus small d power 4. Here capital D is nothing but external dia, small d is nothing but internal dia.